Hello everyone, my name is Ghostboy259. Welcome back to Reality Escape. This is day 12 of the 12 days of quick games where we uploaded a video every day for 12 days straight. It's finally done. It's been crazy uploading a video every day for 12 days, and I'm going to miss the views, but I'm not going to miss taking a little bit of a break. So I'm going to take a little vacation after this, and we'll resume this series once a week in February, so just a heads up there. But if you're new to the show, Quick Game, Quick Thoughts is a show where we play a mobile game, browser game, something like that, something that's free that you guys can play. Always a link down in the description for you guys to play, and I always invite you guys to play along with me. And we just gotta break it down. We talk about the nostalgia factor, talk about what makes it unique, what makes it stand out a little bit. And today is Swords and Sandals, the first one. Now, I know that there are Steam versions of Swords and Sandals. I know that there are completed versions and that this is not it. This is like the very first iteration of Swords and Sandals from 2006, and I remember playing it a lot as a kid. It has this very primitive and easy to learn combat system where basically you are fighting one-on-one with another character, and I know that in the later iterations that they have different situations, and there's like one of the trailers I saw, you were like on a drawbridge or something, but like I said, we're just talking about this very first version right now. If you guys want, I can dive into the other versions later, but this has such a big nostalgia factor for me, and I remember as a kid struggling to play. I think I played mostly Swords and Sandals 2 over this one, but even this one, I remember struggling to play, and then coming back now as an adult and just being able to destroy it. It was like, oh, wasn't that hard after all. You start off with your character creation, in which there's tons of fun little hairstyles and facial hair, and you can make your skin color like green or blue or red or something like that. So a lot of fun with that. And then you have your main attributes. You've got your strength, which is how much damage you do. It also makes your character like bigger. Agility, which is how fast they can move. Attack, which is how often you actually attack. So you'll see later there are percentages that kind of tell you how what your chances are of attacking, kind of like the VATs in Fallout. You've got defense, which is how much you can get hit. You've got vitality, which is your health. You've got your charisma, which will help you buy and sell things with a better deal. And then you've got your stamina, and your stamina will come into play while you're playing, because as you'll see in the combat, if you fall asleep in the middle of the you don't fall asleep, but you run out of stamina and you can basically skip a turn. Once you're actually into the game, there are some stores where you can buy armor and you can buy weapons. You start off with 1,000 gold, and so you can buy stuff right off the bat, which I always forget to do. And then besides that, like I said, in the other versions, I know there's a lot more to do. In here, it's just the armory, the weaponsmith, and then you enter the arena. And the arena is where all of the gameplay happens. You will be matched up to someone, and it'll show you kind of a head-to-head of stats. You can actually see whereabouts you compare to this person. You'll be given 4 movement options: walking forward, walking backwards, jumping forward, jumping backwards, and this will deplete your energy. So you can close the gap more if you jump forward than walk forward, but you're depleting energy by doing so, and so it's not always recommended, but it depends on the circumstance that you're fighting under. The other option you have is rest and heal, and rest and heal will allow you to skip a turn and regain some energy and regain some health, and sometimes that becomes taunt. So if you have a high enough energy, you can taunt someone, and there's a percentage that it will work, and if you taunt someone successfully, they will attempt to strike you and then like fall over, or they will sometimes even take damage. I haven't gotten it personally where they've taken damage, but I have gotten it many times where they'll fall over. But they can also block it as well. When you put your mouse over, there is a percentage chance. And then you have charge, and charge is kind of how you initiate combat. Now, I think you can just walk up to someone to initiate combat, but charging is generally what you want to do. And then once you're engaged in combat, you'll have 6 different options, 2 of them being move away, move backwards, jump backwards, so if you need to rest or whatever, you can do that. The option that goes instead of taunting and resting is shoving. So you can, if you don't want to jump backwards, you can push your opponent out of the way, but it doesn't always work, and there's no percentage involved with that. But you need a higher strength if you want to push someone away effectively. If you don't have a high strength, it won't really do anything. You'll just kind of inch them forward, and you'll still be within the combat. From there, you have 3 different attacks, and it's basically a game of percentages. You have a quick attack, a normal attack, and a power attack, and it's exactly what you would think it would be. A quick attack has a higher percentage of hitting but does less damage. A normal is kind of 50-50, and a power has a lower percent chance of hitting but will do the most damage if it hits. Normally it starts off with like quick being 66%, normal is like 50% chance to hit, and then power is like 33% chance to hit. But if you increase your attack skill, that will also change these numbers as well. So when I played my games, I started off like maxing out my strength, and then I just went power, so that if I hit them once, they were pretty much dead. As your energy runs out in the game, which it inevitably will, you will basically miss your turn and then regain some. So depending on how far... Now these things don't tell you how much energy they use to use them, which would have been nice if like the different attacks used a different amount of energy. I don't know if they do. It would have been cool if they told us if that was the case, but I have no idea. I'm not sure. But essentially, while you're in combat, you will run out of energy doing certain attacks, and it'll cause you to miss your turn. However, your opponent also has energy, and they will also be expending energy. So sometimes you get really lucky, and it lines up where you and your opponent both miss a turn at the same time. Sometimes you're not so lucky, and you just miss a turn and they attack you. That's pretty standard stuff. But like I said, it's something that they also experience as well. At the end of battles, you can also level up, so you have a chance to increase your stats. Now, I know that in the other games, there's a lot more of this. However, if in this game, I think you only level up I think I only leveled up 4 or 5 times before I beat it, because the game doesn't last that long. Your goal is to kill, I want to say it's like 3 or 4 champions or something like that, in the arena. And that's not like every person, so like sometimes you'll be fighting like normal gladiators, and then you'll be fighting champions. And your goal is just to destroy, I think it's, let me check. When I completed the game, I had 9 battles and 2 champions, but I believe if you're playing a full version, it's like 7 or 8 or something like that. So it does differ depending on which version, but this is more like a demo, really, than it is like a free flash version. And I think it did a good job at it, because it shows you that like, oh, that you're on the edge of something really cool and really fun, but you have to do more. Besides that, I mean, that's essentially it for gameplay-wise. You roll your stats, you upgrade, you buy armor, you buy weapons, and you just go out and you kill people. Once you die, that's it. The game is over, you lose, and that's it. So it is you might have to try a couple times, find out what works for you in what sense, because once you die, it's all over. It's permadeath, as the kids would say. I really do enjoy this game. I enjoy this style of combat, and I one day will eventually go and look at the other games in this series, because if this is the most base version, I'm curious how they upgraded it, what other things they did to it. So eventually I will take a look at those. That's something that I'm interested in. I think, like I said, I think the one I played the most as a kid is Swords and Sandals 2. But it's one of those things where you come back and you realize, oh wow, this was so easy to do, but as a kid you just didn't understand how things worked, and so I just got destroyed every single time. But you know, the characters look funny, they got their giant eyes, sometimes they're cross-eyed, you get to create these really crazy characters, and when you're, you know, I guess I was 11 or 12 when I played this is the kind of stuff that you love. This is hilarious to you. And it's you know, it can be a little gory sometimes, you know, so I can imagine like some parent was probably upset when they saw their kid playing this and saw a little pool of blood or whatever. Like I can see an elementary school banning this from the computer lab or whatnot. But it's very simple, it's very fun to do, and I'll put up my stats here, my final points and my final stats for, like I said, I played a couple games, but I only won the whole thing once, so I'll put that up there for you guys, and you guys can let me know how I did. And if you want to try it out, just this free version, let me know how you compare. Besides that though, guys, that is it. The 12 videos in 12 days is finally done. I'm going to take a little bit of a break because I did not get much of a vacation because I was working on these, and if you didn't listen to my last updates, I unfortunately got hurt, and so I haven't really rested and relaxed at all. So I'm going to do that and take some time. No more quick thoughts for the rest of January, and then back in February we will start it up every single Wednesday like we did before. In the meantime, I'm going to be working on some bigger, longer videos. I have 3 that are currently in the works, and then of course if you follow the channel, I have that really big project I'm working on. But in case I don't get those things out in time, in case I don't see you in January, and you like me, and you just want to see what I'm like in a normal setting, we have a Let's Play channel called Jafferdub, and we only uploaded 6 times last year, so a lot of people subscribed because the clicker video was blowing up and the tower defense video was blowing up, so people went over, subscribed to there, and then noticed that there were no updates. We're changing that. We're going to try to upload at least once a week, maybe, but we do have some stuff, and I believe tomorrow we're going to be uploading our first video again for the first time in 2020 and for the first time in a long time. So if you want to see some Let's Plays and stuff, go check that out. My goal is to hit 1,000 on that channel this year, which would be really cool. And if I hit 1,000 over there, then I'll probably start doing some live streaming and stuff and upload highlights over there as well. Special thanks to my patrons. I can't believe that I've gained 1 a day for the past couple days. That's really weird to me, but thank you guys for supporting me. Recommend games down below. I promise you that I am looking at all your recommendations and that I will get to them eventually, but we got a lot of games to play. But back in February, we will pick this series back up. Feel free to tweet at me if you want to get a hold of me, and Happy New Year, guys. I will see you hopefully before February, but sometime soon. Have a good one.